So this is the proper turn 10 now, unlike last time when I said it was 10 but it was actually 9, so sorry about that. This is turn 10, and reasonably eventful turn on his side. I think he opened up pretty much with every single gun he had. Strangely though, excuse me, it was just my poor skirmishers that caught it. These guys in the north of Eylau caught a beating from artillery, and these guys down in what do we call it? The windmill yard. I cracked out my Esposito book, probably the best book on maps for Napoleonic Wars, and they just had it marked down as high ground. There wasn't much description of it. They had the church and the cemetery and everything described, but when it came to this area here, I can't still see a reference. So if anybody does know, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to keep searching because I can't call it a windmill yard all game. Other than that, what did I actually see? He looks like he's getting a defensive position going up here. Started to see more and more troops. He's brought some artillery up. So yeah, he's just extending his line, I guess. A lot of lancers there, dragoons. Yeah, that's stacking issues there, but never mind. As long as he's playing within the spirit of the rules, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, so it was just one mass artillery barrage all the way, and these poor guys, there's still 90 left, and they caught the most of it. He moved his Cossacks again to the east, and he got his routed Cossacks out of the way. So yeah, he's carrying on doing what he's doing. Again, no sign of these Prussians. I would say he's dug in around these areas, around the two places. You've got Althoff and Schmoditten. So my plan then, carry on moving with the cavalry, sort my southern flank out. It's not quite 8 o'clock, it's only 7:30, so I can't really, I've still got fixed units, that's what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to carry on with these cavalry, try and get them down to Ferguson, give myself a little bit of protection. Carry on with Milhod and his cavalry, get onto this high ground, overlooking Molvitten and out the way of those Russian guns. I might take those skirmishers out. They got hammered last time, but use them as a sacrificial lamb if he's going to just take pot shots. I'd rather he took pot shots at skirmishers rather than anything else. The good news is he can't see anybody else, any sort of valuable targets, worthwhile using that ammunition for. So we did quite well there, hiding our troops away. And yeah, so I'll get back to the end of this time. So there wasn't actually that much movement to do there. Cavalry sorted itself out. It's nicely strung out on the march from the road. So happy with that. Around Eylau itself, didn't really move anything. I did in the windmill yard. I brought my skirmishers back out of line of sight from the Russian guns, so they can't see them anymore, which is good. Hopefully draw, because it's a victory location here, hopefully draw his skirmishers in, and I set up a battery there. Can you see that? No. So if he does take that VP, I'll put some protection there for the guns, some leger skirmishers. So set a miniature trap for him there. Down in the south, Milhod's cavalry, I need everybody to release here and start that swing before I move everybody up. That's otherwise it's going to be sort of too spread out for everyone, and I just need to get this southern flank sorted out. It all sort of hinges with the VU and getting everybody down, round up here. Continued swinging my Chaussure à Cheval around on the road, and then place some artillery up on this high ground here just to take pot shots, distance shots at his Chasseur au Cheval. I moved this gun round, so I will sacrifice a shot this turn, but it's we've got a nice line of sight. We can either turn that round for the main road here, or sort of this ground up here that he's going to have to cross. So we do have a nice line of sight with that gun. This gun, we can take a pot shot if anyone's around. A little bit far, I think. Yeah, 1 hex too far for him. This artillery we unlimbered this turn. This is the guys we moved into position last time. What I will do though is I think just move them round. If he's going on that flank, move them round. These guys are still fixed for another 2-3 turns. And that's about it. There's not much combat resolution we can actually do on this turn, unless we can see we can. So we'll hit those up the rear. Nice. And that's about it then. So that's the situation. End of turn 10. Let's have a look at how we're doing victory-wise. Sorry about even Stevens with infantry. We've got a lot more of his cavalry. I lost that gun early on, and we're on for a major victory. But it would be a very shallow victory if I was to take it now. So, get back to you on the next turn. Good news is that when we both sit down at the computer, we can hammer these turns. So hopefully it's not going to take weeks to get this video series done. Hopefully it's just going to be days. Okay, anyway, I'll sign off for now. Right, here we go with turn 11. Not too an eventful turn there. Nothing major happened. He was quiet with his artillery that time. Round Eylau, he has brought these skirmishers back, and then the sort of the parent bodies of light infantry he's taken back. So they're just sort of going back and forward, purely just harassing. I think that seems to be his modus operandi here, just to harass me, just to probably keep me tied down, guessing or something like that. He's continued with this defensive position up here. What he did do though, what I did notice was some troops come, I can't remember which one now, but where there wasn't any troops he's actually put them forward with the guns. When I was reading Despacito I had a quick look at his description of the map as well, and long story short, this is pretty much what the Russians did on the day, and they made easy targets for the French gunners. So, new plan. Possibly think about getting some form of grand battery somewhere around Eylau, as long as a grand battery, and hammering the troops rather than the guns. Now if he wants to do counter battery fire, it's not very effective and he'll use a lot of ammunition to do that. So getting some kind of grand battery in place isn't a bad idea, to hammer away at the troops rather than the guns. So that is an idea that I'm going to have a think about. It is an option. Skirmishers stayed where they were here. I don't know if they disappeared. And in the south, these Cossacks have sort of sorted themselves out, and then he's come back down my flank again. So I think he's just harassing. He's using them as scout stroke harassing just to keep me tied down from moving. And we had some opportunity fire on some Cossacks here that moved. He's definitely sort of moving out to the east or southeast. Probably heading for the same place I'm heading, so there'll be some cavalry clashes. Not the best to do it in the terrain down there, but this can certainly keep an overwatch. It looks worse on the map than it is actually on real life. I've been moving some troops before on these kind of maps, and it doesn't seem that this marsh is half as bad as for effect on movement as it is in sort of spring summer terrain. So happy days. Still waiting for everyone, 2 more turns for everyone to release and go up towards those Prussians. Everybody's guessing, where are those Prussians? But they're there somewhere, and we'll find out eventually. Other than that, business as usual. Carry on with the cavalry. Milhard's going to stay where he is, so it's all sort of happening around Eylau with skirmishes and some cavalry skirmishes in the south. So I'll get back to you in a second. So, did my movement there, and first thing there you can see it's funny shape with that cavalry all spread out on the road. Annoyingly, the cavalry was somewhere about here, and I held down the out button with some road hex over here, and I got a little bit lazy. The pathfinding said no, the quickest way is actually over all this ground, and that's why they've ended up there. So, my fault. Haven't got an undo move because of fog of war. So, lesson learned. Should have just held it on the next couple of hexes and gone around that corner. Never mind, it's not the end of the world, and they're not in any danger out there. I never really moved anybody, I did decide to go for that grand battery. We do have quite a bit of artillery. We've got some guard artillery, which is fantastic artillery, and we don't have any massive heavy guns. I will keep some in reserve, and I'm bringing up a battery from down here as well. And I think risk versus reward, I mean, this is with the added benefit of hindsight. On the day, the Russian dispositions were poor, and he did exactly this, Bennigsen, the Russian commander. And it's a good chance to chip away at his guns. It's low risk, because if he gets into counter battery fire, he's going to waste his ammo for low effect. Battery against battery, he wasn't really done. You're better off saving your ammo. So chances are, it is relatively low risk. If I start losing guns left, right and centre just because of all this, then I will pull them out and keep them for another day. But I'm going to go for it and see what happens. What else do we do? Down and south. Annoyingly, it's really annoying me that this unit here is still fixed because it's blocking my way on the road for my cavalry, but it's not the end of the world. What I've done is we do have some chances with these guns. I've set up on the high ground, so hopefully they can see these crossbows. Okay, so that's them dealt with. I'll put out a skirmisher line there. And up on this end, I turn my chasseurs around just in case. I'm going to get disrupted with that river, so it's cat and mouse. If he comes near me, fair enough, then I will charge him. But I did turn this artillery round. This is the one I turned round, but this one was already turned round, so we'll have a crack at his Cossacks. On the way. How are they on the way? They're not even on the same level. 100 feet and 105 feet. I'm going to go across. Okay, that's not too bad. Bring my skirmishers forward now. Oh, so they can't. Okay, so that is the end of turn. Just make sure, turn 11 now. Not a lot else I can actually do. So it all depends on, I keep saying it, on Ney and La Salle when I'm going to find the Prussians, and my southern flank actually all becoming available so I can start that sweep up. Everything relies on my flanks, and until everybody is in position ready to go, it's going to be cat and mouse across the board. Hopefully he doesn't attack, that will change things. But as I said, he was so adamant that he wanted to defend, and it looks like even with these troops that I'm starting to see now, he looks like he's in a defensive position. So there you go, and see you on the next turn. Start of turn 11 then, and as always, no Prussians. I'm beginning to wonder, are they even on the map? Could be that he is dug in and we just can't see them yet, or maybe even they're fixed, I don't know. But anyway, we can't see the Prussians. Around Eylau, he continued with this skirmisher line. He did have a go to try and take that church area. He brought those light troops forward again. He moved some troops up here somewhere into the guns. I think it was them, was it? Yeah, he moved them anyway into the guns, so that's boding well for our ground battery plan, to get our battery set up in the centre to actually hammer those infantry that are quite good targets. And then I noticed first of all the hussars weren't here anymore, and they've popped up here. So I don't think he can see these guys, or someone can see these guys. And I don't know his numbers. I can't remember how many there was. There was a few hussars there anyway, or a few cavalry. I'm going to have to get set up for a trap again with these guys. Who have we got there? Saint Hilaire and the 1st Division. So we're going to get them set up in square just in case he goes there. But I'm going to get these guys set up for a cavalry charge. Now we've got a lot of them, dragoons, not the best quality, but we do have the numbers. So get some horse artillery set up, maybe move this artillery up here as well, just in case he's going to get adventurous. He's not exactly playing a proper a pure defensive battle, should I say. He is moving stuff around, and he's quite liberal with his cavalry. Cossacks, we had a lot of opportunity fire as they started to move around, more in this area than down in the south. And for this turn then, it's going to get these troops around Rotherham set up for a potential cavalry charge around here, but more of a defensive position. He can't really see much there, so hopefully it's going to be a surprise with all these troops here and all this cavalry. Not the best, but we do have the numbers. Carry on this march, try and sort my mess out from last time with that one, with a wrong click of a button. Oh, and they did take the Windmill Churchyard, or Windmill Yard. And so we can sort of skirmish in there, bit of cat and mouse to and fro, as we will in the north of Eylau. And I think this is the last turn, and next turn, I promise, Ney will be released, LaSalle will be released, and they're going to start going north to find those bloody Prussians. So, just getting to the end of this turn now, I just realised that I need to get my battery up. I think the best place is the battery, just having a look there, is it's going to be around this sort of churchyard and cemetery. There's some nice ground there, possibly get stuff away. I don't want to get too close because those guns are more devastating the closer we actually get them. So, okay. A lot of counter fire now, just because so many battles can actually see them. Get this guard artillery up. Points to go up there, not quite. Bring these guys up. So we're going to have maybe about 30 gun battery, something like that. As we get there, these guys can bring up as well. We do have reserve artillery just in case. And we can do a little bit of combat resolution now, I suppose, just to finish this turn off with our skirmishers, as per. I hope he knows about line of sight. I kind of feel a bit guilty because these guys are just always a target. Who else have we got? We've got these guys. These guys. Can they see anything from the cemetery? Yeah, what have we got in there? Horse artillery, so we don't have the best range. So I set my cavalry up down here and around Rotherham and put everybody into square, started moving the guns up, move my cavalry around. He will see a bit more, so he might get savvy to it, but I didn't show him everything. A lot of it is in reserve. Out the way just in case, so we will see what happens there. Down here, move my skirmisher line out and my squares a little bit, and haven't done any combat resolution, so Cossacks have taken a bit of punishment. I suppose though they're all sort of C and D rated. They are not disposable, but you wouldn't be as sorry losing Cossacks as you would maybe Lancers or some of the decent Russian cavalry. I think these guys are well out of range, but we can still see what they're up to. I'll go with them. Alright. Happy days. I'm looking forward to these guys getting out of the way. And that's about it. I had to sort my cavalry out on the road. I sort of sacrificed a turn just to get them back into marching order. Not the end of the world, just it's one of those annoying little things. So that's it. That's the end of turn 12, and catch you on the next one.